Hey, quick introduction. I happen to love the great outdoors. Huge fan. I mean, anything from hiking, camping, fishing, hunting, rock climbing, swimming, snowboarding. I mean, just about anything you can do outdoors, I like to do it. In many of these outdoor activities, it's important to have the proper gear, and some of it requires even some survival gear. Because really, you never know what can happen when you are in the great outdoors, and yes, they are great, but you never know. And probably one of the most important, if not the most important things in a survival situation is to have the ability to make a fire. You need to stay warm, you need to cook. So for today's video, I thought it would be kind of fun to put some of these ways to start a fire to the test. I happen to have some of my own survival gear, survival fire starting things, and there's a couple of ways that I've heard of but never tested myself. So enough of the introduction, let's go start some fires. Hi, I'm Jeff, and I'm legally blind. But I'm not gonna let that stop me. I'm pretty excited about today's video because I get to play with fire. I get to test ways to make fire, which I've never done. So, should be pretty fun. Let me show you what I've got. First, to start off, first and foremost, I've got a magnesium stick, which is probably the most common kind of survival way to make a fire. It's just a block of magnesium with a ferro rod on it, and a ferro rod is just a man-made alloy, ferrocium, which when struck and when you make a spark, the spark is in excess of 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's a little warm. Should be pretty easy to make a fire with that. And I picked up the cheapest knife I could find at Walmart. This thing only cost $2, just to show that you don't really need anything fancy. Just your basic stuff will do. I've got a 20 gauge shotgun shell. That's fun. Yeah, I'm just gonna use the gunpowder out of this though. So I'm gonna cut it open and take the BBs out and all that. Just gonna use the gunpowder. I also have steel wool and your regular 9-volt battery. This one happens to be Duracell, the copper tap. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start with the magnesium stick, which this particular magnesium stick has actually, it's gonna be age tested too, because I've had this thing in my tackle box for like the last 20 years. That's not an exaggeration, it's been in there forever. So this one's got some age on it, and also I forgot to mention, I'm gonna try this dry, which it should work no problem dry, but it's supposed to be waterproof too, so I'm gonna test it wet. Get this cheap knife out of here first. Oh wow, look at that. That's some high quality Chinese made. Yeah, this thing's so easy to break. Let's test the ferro rod first. Looks like it works to me. I'm just gonna use the bottom of a pop can to contain the magnesium and the gunpowder when I do that. Scrape off some magnesium. All right, we're gonna try it. There's a little bit there. Let's see what happens if we hit it with a spark.
Ooh, yeah.
Little spark?
Yeah.
Let's hope.
Ooh.
We got fire.
We created fire and it's gone.
Yeah, that worked. That worked pretty well. So, it should be easy. You know, if you got some tinder and stuff, get that flame going, get the tinder lit, and then go to kindling, and then, you know, your bigger stuff. So, yeah, that works. As you can tell, I dumped the magnesium from here. I mean, I must have spent like a good 10 or 15 minutes trying to get it lit in the bottom of this pop can. But I don't know, maybe because it's made out of aluminum, maybe that somehow interacts with the magnesium. And I know aluminum is not flammable, so it's possible that it kept the magnesium from getting lit. I don't know. All I know is I dumped the magnesium from the aluminum onto the plate, and it took a spark really, really quick. So not such a great idea, I guess. So, got a glass of water here. Now I'm just gonna dip this whole thing in there. So that way we can see if it'll still take a spark from the ferro rod. The block is still wet. So here's the submerged in water test. Trying to make a video, dude. People with their private planes. Ooh, check that out.
You got it. There's ash flying everywhere.
Is there? All right, works when it's wet. I would call that pretty successful.
It worked better than the first one.
I know, right? Yeah, when it was wet, that actually looked more impressive than when it was dry. I don't know what's going on there. I probably screwed up the dry test, but both of them worked. Next test with the shotgun shell. I'm gonna use the ferro rod and the gunpowder that's in the shotgun shell. So all I'm gonna do is cut the shell open, take out the shot or the BBs, and use the gunpowder. Pour it out on the same plate and see if that can take a spark as well as the magnesium did. All right, there we go. There's the gunpowder that was in there, which this was an old shell. That's like clumped together. There we go. So there's our gunpowder. And to anyone that ever wanted to see the BBs that was inside the shell, there you go. There's your shot. If I'm not mistaken, this is either 7.5 shot or 6 shot. That's just the size of the BBs. Almost. I think we need a new shell. Dude, that should have lit by now. Well, I think this is just old gunpowder that maybe got damp or something. I don't get it. Dude, this is just some dead powder. All right, man. In the process of getting a brand spanking new shotgun shell, which has to have dry powder in it, right? It started to rain. So, dadgum weather, always trying to rain on my parade. I mean, not that I was in a parade or anything, but it was spoiling my fire starting fun. Okay, we got a dry plate, we got some dry gunpowder, so here we go. This is amazing me that it's not igniting that. I'm actually really surprised this is not taking a spark. I'm hearing tiny little sparks. This is weird. I'm gonna call this one. I've seen this done before with one of these. For some reason, it's not working for me. So I don't know what the deal is, but
Let me try.
Actually, do you know where a lighter or matches are? Because I just want to check the powder.
Yeah, I'll bring it back.
All right, just to prove that this gunpowder will ignite, maybe the problem wasn't with the old shell, with it being damp or something like that, but it's, for some reason, it's not taking a spark. So just to prove that it is gunpowder and it is gonna light, we're gonna use a lighter. TJ, go for it.
Whoa, that's cool. Why is it yellow?
There you go. It's gunpowder. It just didn't want to take a spark from a ferro rod, which was really weird. Because like I said, I have seen it done before. Just didn't work for me. I don't know. Okay, last but not least, for today at least, 9-volt battery with the capper tap and steel wool. This one's pretty simple. All you do is touch the steel wool to the end of the battery that's got the positive and negative, and it should catch fire. So Brianna, we already talked about this. Brianna really wants to try this one. So I'm gonna give it to Brianna and I'm gonna take the camera.
Okay, what do I do?
All right, go ahead and just, touch it to the end and see what you get.
Whoa! That's... rats.
Can we burn the plate?
You gotta light it for a reason.
No, don't burn the plate.
Why? Nothing's happening.
All right, you know what might work better? Try to take the steel wool and like thin it out a little bit. Because I think if it's thinner, it'll work better.
Okay, that's enough. It's fine. There you go. See, I'm so smart. Technically, Jeff came up with the idea.
Shush. No, I didn't.
Ooh.
Easy, right? That's kind of cool.
It's moving. Why would you try and touch it? It's like fire ants. Except it's literal fire ants.
Yeah.
All right, TJ wants to try it?
Can I light the plate on fire?
Not yet.
Oh jeez.
Mine's better.
I'm naming them Sparky. Oh jeez. Smells like barbecue. Oh jeez.
Man, look at TJ go. Okay, 3 pyros in here testing fire starters. Recipe for disaster or recipe for fun?
What's a pyro?
Person that likes fire.
Oh.
Okay, interesting results. Honestly, I totally expected the shotgun shell gunpowder to take a spark, but it did not. I would still love to try, one of those old Indian methods, like a bow drill, where you got the 2 sticks and you rub them back and forth and try to make a fire. I've seen videos on how to do that, and I really, really want to try to do it myself. I've never tried it. I think it'd be just something fun to do, and I want to see if I can actually do that. Okay, so the plan was to actually have a bonfire tonight, but it's raining right now. It's all wet, so fingers crossed. Hopefully it's going to dry up because I would like to do a fire for the video. We tested how to make a fire, so it'd be nice to make one. Actually in the pit.
Leaves make smoke.
You need some more kindling, and then you need some thicker stuff. There you go. Who's full of hot air? So Brianna's full of hot air.
We gonna survive.
Did I just feel a raindrop? Yeah. We're getting the fire going just in time for it to rain and make some s'mores. Oh, look at that bad boy roaring. They got that fire going really good, actually.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm proud of you guys. Girls.
Thank you. Pronouns.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. Who doesn't love some s'mores cooked over a fire in the summertime?
People who don't like getting eaten alive. I am. Oh my god.
TJ, you getting eaten up?
Yes. I've got like 3 bites. I haven't even been out here 20 minutes. I mean, 5 for that bag. What's your blood? Going inside.
You just must be so sweet, TJ.
Shut up.
I stand corrected.
It's salty.
Good job on the fire, though, girls.
Thank you.
The Boy Scouts would even be proud of you. I've seen Boy Scouts make worse fires than this.
That's because they're boys.
They
Oh,
don't have any coordination.
I resemble that remark. I'll have you know that I am quite the pyro and I make awesome fires.
I am too.
Seriously though, I really don't even know how much of my childhood I spent being grounded because of playing with matches. Sorry, Mom. You gotta admit though, I turned into quite the woodsman. And I think I at least need to partially attribute that to playing with matches as a kid. But I mean, I never really burned anything down. I did get hurt once though. You guys want to hear a funny story?
Yeah.
Okay. So, kind of an embarrassing story, but I have a scar on my hand, on my right hand, which let me see if I can get a shot of it real quick. Okay, so I have a scar right here in between my first and second knuckle on my right hand. And I actually got this scar because of playing with fire when I was like super, super young. I was either 3 or 4 years old. I don't remember which. Yeah, seriously, I was young. And Sheila, your mom, she used to have a bunch of Barbies.
Yep.
Really embarrassing story. So I don't know if I hated Barbies or if I just was fascinated with the fire. Probably fascinated with the fire and just found something to burn. But I remember I burned one. Oh, here's the embarrassing part. I burned one of her Barbies' panties. I remember it was a black lace pair of panties with these gold little sparklies on it.
What?
Yeah. And it, it kind of dripped a little bit because of the material. It dripped and hit my skin here, and
Oh my gosh.
I got burned pretty good. And I remember that being really, really painful as a kid. And I remember it turning black, and I got a nice little memory from it now. So kids, don't play with fire.
or panties.
Yeah, or Barbie's yeah, or Barbie's panties.
I didn't know they made panties for Barbies. I thought they just came on the Barbie.
Yeah.
Back in the day, they didn't have plastic like looking underwear automatically on the Barbies.
I'm serious. Don't play with fire. Who's had s'mores already?
Me.
Everybody's had s'mores?
Yeah.
I haven't had one yet. Are there any marshmallows left?
There's 3.
3?
Yeah.
Okay.
You want one?
I do.
You want a
Well, you
s'more?
can't have one.
Or just a roasted
I
marshmallow?
mean,
You can use mine.
I don't know. I might just want a roasted marshmallow. That might be too much sugar before I go to bed.
Oh, look at you being all responsible.
I know, right? Isn't that weird?
It's the first
Yes.
time in years.
Who are you and what have you done with my uncle?
Just trying to set a good example for you girls.
I was just thinking, what kind of example are you setting?
Okay, I think I'll just have a regular unroasted marshmallow.
That hurts my eyes.
Wait, that hurts your eyes to watch me eat an unroasted marshmallow?
Right in front of a campfire? Yeah, it hurts my stomach.
Okay, fine. Are there any more marshmallows that I can roast?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, you guys are forcing me to do this. I hope you're happy.
We weren't forcing you. You just decided to do it.
You're very
It was the right thing to do, Jeff.
Okay, there we go. Yeah.
not on fire enough.
There we go.
Only one side's on fire.
Slightly charred.
Careful.
Don't try this at home.
And it's really late, and I kind of want to be able to fall asleep tonight.
I'm tired right now, and I ate 3.
All right, I had fun with that one. I may have to revisit the gunpowder part of that, possibly with using a pistol cartridge, because I know that a pistol cartridge has faster burning powder than what's in a shotgun shell. So might be doing that at a later date. As always, thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate the view. Until the next one, when life gets you down, stand up and overcome.